Derek Overstreet, founder of the New Millennium Group. We're a financial planning firm. We have advisors standing by right now to take your call. 888-999-6370. The reason you're going to want to call is we're going to help you retire 3 to 5 years before you thought possible. The way we do this is by putting together a step-by-step plan. So if you're one of those people listening and you'd like a plan in writing, give us a call at 888-999-6370. That's 888-999-6370, or go to utahsfinancialplanner.com.
Some of the most meaningful jewelry you own isn't new. It's inherited. A ring from a grandmother, a necklace full of memories, but no longer your style. Duke's Jewelers reimagines family heirlooms into custom pieces you'll actually wear and love. Working one-on-one, Duke's designers honor the original story while creating something fresh and modern. Don't let meaningful jewelry sit unused. Let it live on beautifully. Visit Duke's Jewelers in Springville or online at dukesjewelers.com, where old stories become new treasures.
Strap yourselves in, folks.
From two guys who have covered the teams you're passionate about for years.
We are professionals.
This is Jake Scott and Ben Anderson on 97.5 The KSL Sports Zone.
Jake and Ben, 97.5 The KSL Sports Zone. Is this his first?
Third.
Oh, third. Oh, well, there you go. Congratulations to Cole, who will not be on the show today. Jake and Ben, happy Tuesday to everybody out there, however you may be listening, streaming, over the air, the YouTube, KSLSports.com, our friends in the future, podcasting the show, which we encourage you to do.
Maybe you're just like in the hallway.
I like
broadcast out there.
In all honesty, I like to think that most people are kind of a hybrid. I am in this way too. Like, you catch a segment of Jake and Ben when you're bouncing around town, and you're like, I wonder what those bozos got up to in hour number 2. Then you go to the podcast. Then you're a friend from the future. So then you're both. Or maybe you're at your desk and you've got the YouTube up. And then you podcast it later. And then you need to re-listen to the show, obviously.
Or you throw the AirPod in and you never leave us.
Okay.
You're just with us 24/7.
I like that all. I like all of it. However you're doing it. We appreciate it. Speaking of babies, Christian's still here. His has not been born yet.
Slacker. The baby already. Taking his time.
Did you feed her spicy food yesterday? No? Decided not to?
Her heartburn has been really bad. So
oh, yeah. That means the baby has hair.
Yeah, that's
She's
the
praying.
wives' tale.
That's, the wives' tale is the baby has.
Your wife has thick hair, right? Long hair, yeah. You have pretty good hair. So we'll see.
Hope so.
Fingers crossed.
Both my kids had hair when they were born. Sadie had a lot of hair, and neither one of them lost it. Because I didn't know that's a thing, too, that some kids are born with hair and then
thin out.
Then the hair leaves them, and then it comes back.
I, too, had hairy children.
Well, that's a way to put it, but yeah.
and pregnancy heartburn.
But that's got to be one of those things where, like, maybe not every pregnant woman has heartburn, but got to be pretty close, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Just the size part, like it pushes everything.
Yeah, it pushes all your acids back up towards your
right.
face.
That only makes total sense. I don't know what hair would have to do with
And as you
that.
mentioned, Christian's trying to consume more acid, but mom's...
Different kind of acid, but yeah.
Different acid, yeah.
How'd that go?
Dude, I'm seeing,
He'll let you know when he comes back.
How'd that go? Oh, yeah. Our advice to Christian in these days before the baby is born is be selfish.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want to do.
It's about you now.
It's about you for now, for the last time maybe of your entire life.
Yeah. In a good way.
Absolutely in a good way. But still, I feel like I wish somebody had told me in my final days, like, really, really think about you. A lot. Because I have no idea what I did in the days leading up to my child's birth.
Same.
Actually, we weren't expecting. Sadie was born early, so that was kind of thrust upon us. So I didn't really even have the option, come to think of it.
Sneaked up on you.
Yeah, I told you we had two cars at the hospital because we were just going for a regular checkup and.
Nope, baby's here.
Didn't go home till a few days later. So anyway, good luck to all the expecting and new fathers out there. Shout out to you.
Yeah.
Ben, Donovan Mitchell made his return again to Delta Center. He had 34 points. He and Evan Mobley both had 34, but the Jazz were scrappy. Even took the lead in the fourth quarter before relenting.
Yeah, the Jazz played hard last night, and that's, I think, just going to be kind of the name of the game with the players that they have out there. And, credit Kennedy Chandler, who did not shoot particularly well last night, but has played well in a Jazz uniform for a 10-day contract guy. And Bez Mbang is playing really hard, and Oscar Tshiebwe plays really hard. And then you do have some real talent on this Jazz team. Like, I don't know what Cody Williams' future looks like. I don't know what Kyle Filipowski's future looks like. I think I have a little bit of an idea of what Ace Bailey's future looks like. I don't know what Bryce's future looks like. But those guys can play. Like, those guys are basketball players. Those guys are all first-round draft picks minus Flip, who, has been really good the last 3 games, and last night had 20 points and 10 rebounds and 5 assists and 3 steals and hit 4 threes. It's just like there is something there with all of these guys. I don't know if that there will be realized in a Jazz uniform, but, like, Cody knows what you are doing to him and knows how to counter it, which is a big step in his career, because I think at times last year, I don't think he knew at all what was happening to him. So there is growth on this team. But ultimately, when you get, into a late game and it's close and you have Donovan Mitchell or you have Evan Mobley, that team is going to be, or, should throw James Harden in there, that team is more prepared to win that game.
I have some thoughts on Cody Williams we can get to, and he was a big topic in the postgame, obviously. And I'm going to repeat a couple of takes, but it is a nightly reminder when the Jazz play teams from the Eastern Conference of a couple of things. And I'll point to some evidence here in a second. But it is absolutely unbelievable that anyone could possibly believe the Jazz could have kept their draft pick while actually trying.
Yes.
That was ludicrous.
Tried and lost.
To watch what the Jazz have to do to lose these games is absolutely incredible.
You calling out Austin Ainge right now?
Honestly, I don't think it was a smart thing that was the first thing he said to the fan base.
Agreed.
I don't. Agreed. I mean,
it didn't help him.
If that hurts his feelings, I'm sorry. But, to have the first thing you tell to the fan base be a lie is not smart.
And I don't know if he thought it was a lie. I don't think he thought it was a lie.
Maybe he didn't. I don't know.
think he did.
I got to imagine. He can't have thought that, actually. I don't believe that. I mean, I guess he just got there, but I mean,
you won't see that this year.
He replaced his dad. So
Sure.
It's not like he was completely and didn't replace, I guess, but
They did. Yeah.
It's not like he was completely unfamiliar with
Correct.
this situation.
Correct.
So that was unwise, in my opinion. And no, I don't believe that he believed that at the time, because I didn't believe that at the time, and he's smarter than me.
And to be fair, I had people immediately after be like, well, I don't know how many games we're going to win.
So he shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
There's a million other ways that he could have given off he sent the message that it's going to be okay without saying that. Does that make any sense?
The answer could have been, that's not our focus this year.
Our focus is in improving these players and what's best for the franchise, and that's what we're always going to do. Rest assured that my judgment is always going to be progressing this franchise to a title. I don't know.
Yeah.
You could have said a million other things that wasn't, well, that is over, because that absolutely was not true. And for the Jazz to lose to these Eastern Conference contenders, they have to field a squad that does not have a center.
Correct.
Does not have a center. And then the only thing they have closely resembling a center, they have to not play in the fourth quarter just to be small enough to lose. Ben, you probably saw this, but the paint points.
Yes. Will Hardy talked about it last night.
82 points in the paint.
As a reminder,
for Cleveland.
On Friday, when the Jazz almost beat Denver, they matched a franchise record with 84. So 82 is a huge number.
82 points in the paint.
Yeah. A layup line, a true layup line.
A dunk line.
Yeah.
I don't think Evan Mobley took a shot.
No, he had 8 or 9 dunks in this game.
He was 15 of 21. I think they were all dunks.
Yeah.
You could tell me 8. I remember all 15 being dunks. Donovan Mitchell, okay, I was telling PK this. My number one complaint with Donovan Mitchell, not number one, but my major complaint with Donovan Mitchell when he was here was he was terrible in the fourth quarter because he wouldn't pass. He'd just crash into a triple team and take some ridiculous shot. And if you didn't get bailed out with the call, he would march into the press conference afterwards and say he needs to, as the team's best player, he needs to take more weight on his shoulders, which was frustrating. But Donovan did that in the fourth quarter because it was a layup line. He wasn't crashing into triple teams. In fact, he was getting right to the rim and making layups. And there you go. It wasn't it. The work that the Jazz had to do to lose that game is crazy.
And has
crazy
been for weeks now.
They were up by 2 with how long?
6 minutes left. Yes. Had stormed back. It's just like
they had to bench Phil and Sensabaugh.
And then
no offense to those two players, but they had to bench those two guys
and then
to lose the game.
Alternate Cody and Ace. You couldn't have Cody and Ace on the floor at the same time because you probably would have won the game. Or at least had a real chance.
Against an Eastern Conference contender.
Yeah.
And listen, Locke is a James Harden guy, so he was kind of, saying how much better Cleveland is with James Harden and all this stuff. Listen, and maybe they were coasting a bit against the Jazz. The Jazz did not have a center on the roster. They should have sleptwalked to a 25-point win. What did the Wizard have it as last night? The Magic Vegas predicting
15.
Wizard. I think it was 17.
Yeah.
An Eastern Conference contender comes in, and the Jazz have to go to those lengths to lose to Cleveland. I'm sure Will Hardy was like, "Oh, thank goodness, a contending team. Hey guys, go pour it on a little bit out there."
Yeah.
Only to be like, "We're going to win this thing."
Yeah.
Hey, Phil, get off the floor.
And there were a couple of weird wrinkles. The Cavaliers could not shoot at all last night. They were 8 of 32 from the three-point line. Sam Merrill, who is one of the best three-point shooters on the planet, was 0 of 8. The bench was 1 of probably 6 or 7. So they didn't shoot well. And then the Jazz were just on fire. I mean, the Jazz were 15 of 29, so over 50%. The bench shot, 3 of 4, which is not a lot of attempts, but Ace Bailey was 3 of 6, and Flip matched a career high with 4 made threes, and Bryce hit 3, and Kennedy Chandler, who's not a shooter, hit 2 of 5.
But that's Cleveland's problem, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's Cleveland's problem, that they don't stop anybody and they don't try hard. Phil was eating Evan Mobley for dinner.
Yeah, he was. That was a good sign for Kyle Filipowski and not a great sign for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Phil had, he had right out of the gate, I have to look back in the first quarter, but he had something like 10
or 11 after the first quarter.
And had 4 assists and 2 steals and was making Evan Mobley look silly.
Yep. No, Kyle's playing really well. His last 3 games, he's had 20 or more in all 3
Cleveland
games.
stinks, and James Harden doesn't make him any better, and they don't guard anybody. And maybe Jared Allen being on the team being available will make some sort of difference. But these Eastern Conference contenders that come through are just absolutely unimpressive.
No, it is strange with Cleveland, and of course there's so many touch points with Cleveland because of Donovan Mitchell and how familiar everybody is in Utah with him. And look, I watched James Harden. He racked up 14 assists last night, and he throws some truly awesome passes. Like, he just has great touch on his passes. He, gets some outlets, and I'm like, wow, that is unique. I do not see players. I watch every single game. I do not see a lot of players throw that. And to your point, they are just going to be pigeons in the playoffs because you can just attack James and you can just attack Donovan Mitchell over and over and over.
James Harden is 300 pounds.
Yeah.
And, he still can muster enough energy to put the ball in between his legs a couple of times and throw a pass. But I'll tell you what he's not doing, running back or staying in front of anyone.
Do you have the box score in front of you?
I do.
How many minutes did Kyle Filipowski play?
Phil played 24 minutes.
How many minutes did James Harden play?
39 minutes.
It's not a good sign. You're in Salt Lake City. The Jazz are not trying to win. James Harden's, 34, 35 years old?
No, they had to play the whole game.
And they had to really play their guys. They had to bring their guys back in to win the game. Donovan Mitchell had to come in, and they closed on a 19-8 run over the final 6 minutes to win the game. But, yes, Cleveland is more flawed than less. And they have a ton of talent. They have a ton of skilled players. Mobley's good. They didn't see Jared Allen last night. He's good. Donovan's good. Sam Merrill's good. James Harden's a Hall of Famer. They have good players, but it is not going to coalesce into a championship. It's not going to gel together to build something truly special. It's going to be another disappointing playoff run, and it doesn't matter if they lose to the Pistons in the second round, or they lose to the Knicks, or they lose to the Celtics, but the loss is coming. The question is just kind of how long can you hang on? And by the way, that's exactly why the Jazz made the trade they did, because I think Ryan Smith was sick of that feeling, and Danny Ainge didn't want to experience that feeling, and now Austin Ainge doesn't want to experience that feeling, which Jazz fans will remember, and it's actually a type of pain that when you're not experiencing it, you might forget about it, but it's this is not going to end the way you want it to, but I guess you'll just watch the playoffs as long as they last. And the Jazz wanted to up their potential beyond that. Now they have to actually get there. They may never get there.
I think you bring up an interesting point, and I'm going to push back a little bit, but I don't entirely disagree. I don't think making decisions because you're tired of this feeling or whatever is necessarily what they're doing or smart. And you've said this before. That's why I'm about to say. That's why I'm not entirely disagreeing with you. I think the reason that they are moving on has 100% to do with Keontae George and basically nothing else. Like if you made a decision, I'm so sick of this, and made a move when you're not ready to make a move or whatever, then that's actually not a very good reason to do it. And I believe it or not, think the fan base would actually go on being more patient if the
Jazz demanded they tank next year, the fan base would stick with it.
I think so too.
No question.
And I'm sure they wouldn't enjoy it. That again, why I'm not entirely disagreeing with you. I'm sure they do hate that ugly feeling and all that. But the reason they made the Jaren Jackson trade is because Keontae turned out to be a guy. And then all of a sudden, Lowry Markkanen fits into the window. Instead of having to trade Lowry to continue on with the tank, they can fit Lowry into their plans, make a big move, and all of a sudden they've got at least 3, but possibly 5 bona fide dudes.
Yeah.
And I think that's the reason that they are moving.
The trade I'm talking about.
I think you do too.
The trade I'm talking about is the Donovan Mitchell trade. The Donovan Mitchell trade of knowing you're only going to last so long in the playoffs. You just didn't know how far it was going to take you, but you knew it was not going to take you to a championship. I think that was the feeling that Ryan Smith was sick of.
I misunderstood.
No, I'm glad you're asking me to clarify it. I think the Jazz realized that's a type of pain and artifice that they were done with, that they were over, and they said, we want to actually raise the ceiling to a point where maybe there's a championship, and the pain to get there is going to be significant, and that's what these 4 years have been, and it is. Look, people inside the building, players on the team. I asked Will Hardy about it yesterday before the game because he was talking about sometimes you have to go through like hard parts before you learn how to win, and not that's a simplified way of what he said, but he just said, you gotta build your roster together, and these guys have to suffer, and everyone goes through it, and you grow and you get better. Because Sarah Todd had asked him, I can't remember specifically, but when does a good team become a great team? How do you know that? And he said, you have to take your lumps sometimes. And then I asked Will if, this team is taking its lumps right now. This has been not fun for anybody. This is not fun for Lowry. It's not fun for Keontae George, and he said he hopes so. But, yeah, that's what I'm implying is that I think the Jazz saw the ceiling that I think Cleveland has right now. And whether it's just closely linked to Donovan or it's you can't pull it away from Donovan Mitchell. If he's your best player, this is going to be your ceiling. I think the Jazz pulled the plug on that early, saying we don't want to deal with that. Because that's what they had with Darren Williams, even though maybe that wasn't quite that point. But they recognized there was a ceiling they wouldn't be able to overcome. And Cleveland has it. There's no doubt Cleveland has it.
Well, and if you're going to make the type of money Donovan makes, you better be able to get your team there.
And I don't think he can.
Yeah, maybe.
And he's a great player, and I just don't think they can.
The Jazz weren't built right around him, though, to defend him. Mm-hmm. The Mike Conley trade did not do what they wanted it to do.
No, I think there's a great what-if in Jazz history. What if they took what they got from the Rudy Gobert trade and retooled around Donovan? It might not have been enough, but it might have.
Yeah, that would have been. I don't know. I was always in the camp of you either do it or don't, and they went into the rebuild, which I think will eventually pay off, and maybe that is one of those big what ifs. But I don't know. Philosophically, that Jazz team I think was broken somewhat. I don't think the defensive philosophy was good enough, or at least sound enough not to be beaten in the playoffs. One quick note: did they put when the referee's doing a review, did they put him up on the big screen at the game?
Yes. Who
was our lead official? Do we know?
I have no idea. Here, I might have the.
He should go to the doctor. I'm not kidding. It was. I think the review was like in the second quarter or something like that. Did you see how much he was sweating? I thought he was going to have a heart attack. It was just pouring off his face.
David Guthrie, J.B. DeRosa, and J.D. Rawls.
Oh, I don't know who the lead official was, but I do. I think he needs to go to the doctor. Somebody should not be sweating that much. Like an official should not be sweating that much ever.
It should not be that hard for them.
But let alone, it was like the second quarter. I feel bad for whoever was on the scorer's table. It had to be like a puddle.
Younger guy or older guy?
Older.
Older. Must have been Guthrie.
No, I'm not kidding. I thought that guy's going to have a heart attack on the floor. I mean, I get some people are heavy sweaters, I guess, but That was pretty incredible.
Yeah, had to be Guthrie.
Get help.
Drink some water.
Get help.
Get a Gatorade.
Something. All right. Let's give away some tickets. It is a Tuesday after all, Ben. A Jazz Ticket Tuesday, caller number 12. Do we want to play the sounder, Sean? All right, go ahead.
It's Jazz Ticket Tuesday, and your chance to win tickets is right now.
Call this number now.
Call this number now.
Be caller number 12 at 801-575-ZONE. 801-575-ZONE. And you'll be on your way to Delta Center to see the Utah Jazz.
He fires the three. He hits. Oh, don't do me like that.
This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
All right, caller 12 right now, 801-575-ZONE. We're hooking you up with a pair of tickets to see the Jazz and the Nuggets on April 1st. That's Wednesday at Delta Center. Tip-off will be at 7 o'clock. Caller 12 right now, 801-575-ZONE. Top 3 stories of the day at KSLSports.com. Coming up next, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Every day, the world gets a little weirder and a lot more awesome. Cool Stuff Daily takes a look at everything from mining in space to the latest in the fight against cancer to how AI is, well, basically changing everything. It's all the cool stuff you didn't know you needed to know. Join us for Cool Stuff Daily as we take a quick look at science, tech, and the wait, what stories that make you sound way smarter at dinner. Subscribe to Cool Stuff Daily now because the future's happening fast and it's way too fun to miss.
Mom, can you tell me a story?
Sure. Once upon a time, a mom needed a new car.
Was she brave?
She was tired, mostly. But she went to Carvana.com and found a great car at a great price. No secret treasure map required.
Did you have to fight a dragon?
Nope. She bought it 100% online. From her bed, actually.
Was it scary?
Honey, it was as unscary as car buying could be.
Did the car have a sunroof?
It did, actually.
Okay, good story.
Car buying you'll want to tell stories about. Buy your car today on
Carvana.
Delivery fees may apply.
It's time to break down the biggest stories of the day. This is the top 3 stories of the day on KSLSports.com. On 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. What was the album that these guys did with Jay-Z? Was it like where they mashed this song with a Jay-Z song?
Encore? I don't know if that's the name of the album. I think that's the name of the song. And then it was the headliner of truly one of my favorite movies of the last 25 years, Miami Vice, which that movie absolutely rips. Christian, that's what you should be doing until your baby's born, is just like watching Michael Mann's remake of Miami Vice for the next 5 days, because that movie is awesome. Anyways. Hard to watch with the kid.
I like collaborations. Sometimes the collaborations don't work out so well. Other times they're incredible.
Yeah.
I thought this collaboration between, what's the name, Linkin Park and Jay-Z was amazing.
It worked.
And then, of course, the GOAT is Aerosmith and Run DMC, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Changed music.
Yeah.
Changed music videos.
Yeah, for sure.
Did we draft that when we drafted music videos? If we didn't, we missed.
I think we did. I think you did.
I think we had to.
Yeah.
All right. Top 3 stories of the day at KSLSports.com. Do Christian and Sean know any of this stuff that we're talking about?
They don't know what Miami Vice is. Sean, how old are you?
I'm 38.
Oh, okay.
So Sean knows what we're talking about. Yeah.
Sean had a Linkin Park moment.
Yeah.
Pulled his beanie down.
Christian has no idea who Linkin Park is.
Correct.
Or Run DMC or
Jay-Z.
Aerosmith or Jay-Z, really.
Jay-Z
Although
hasn't
he's
had a huge album in a few years.
He's still kind of around in the zeitgeist, though.
Yeah.
And he's married to a
Beyonce's
woman
husband?
who is been
Very
pumping
much.
out music.
Way more famous than he is now.
Top 3 stories of the day at KSLSports.com, brought to you by J. Brooks Jewelers. Cherish your love with J. Brooks Jewelers. Explore their expertly crafted engagement rings made from the finest materials. J. Brooks Jewelers. All right, Sean, where do you want to start today?
Utah State intros Ben Jacobson.
It's the new head coach for the basketball team. We're going to let you hear that sound coming up. What time are we doing that? 11, 11:30?
Let's do 11:30.
Okay. In the second hour, let you hear from Ben Jacobson.
And I liked his message. I don't know if you had a chance to listen to his press conference, but talking to Coach Lacombe about the hire last night while we were watching the Jazz game, he doesn't know him personally, but said he feels like he's got Stu Morrill vibes, like he might come and stay. And I kind of get that too. I don't think a dude doesn't win at Northern Iowa and stay there 20 years if his priorities are, I need to get to the biggest program and I need to make as much money as possible.
In fact, I would expect that he has had bigger offers in the past than Utah State.
Yeah, I would 1,000%. When he went to the Sweet 16 after beating Kansas?
Right. I bet you he was the hot name, and I don't remember, but I bet you he was the hot name in the coaching cycle and could have taken a mid-level Big 12 or Big 10 or ACC job and didn't.
We didn't talk about this much yesterday, but he did not have a buyout in his contract with Northern Iowa, and I can't remember the language around it, but do you want to know why? It's because he made past financial sacrifices to the school, basically is what they said. So they didn't put him in a buyout because for 20 years he had been content and
operating above board.
And all of that stuff. And so I think this one, if he's, has success, I think he has the chance to stick in Logan. And like we talked about yesterday, I think a guy who wins at Northern Iowa certainly can win at Utah State. So he talked a little bit about his playing style. He said play fast and physical was kind of his mantra.
Yeah, I think it seems like, and this is important in today's day and age of college basketball, they probably got a pretty good guy. And I don't mean coach. Coaching is, being able to coach well is the most important thing, but it seems like a dude who knows how to operate as a human being, which is going to be key at Utah State. You don't want a slime ball.
It was funny, and I just listened to this, so maybe the Mike didn't pick it up, but he tried to prompt some cheering because he was talking about the herd and how loud and stuff they were. And he was like, "All right, let's hear it," and then it was crickets. Have you ever seen a politician try to get the crowd chanting something and nobody is buying along? Nobody is.
Guess I'm alone here.
Nobody is responding.
Well, Jeb is the most famous one. Is it? You can clap now.
Oh yeah, right. Ooh.
Okay.
Anyway. I
don't think you're going to win, Jeb.
Here's what you've got to know about us, Coach. And I'm talking about us Utahns, is we are polite and we know what's appropriate.
Yeah.
And at a press conference, we're not going to get all crazy and cheer. It's not appropriate. But at the Spectrum, look out.
Yeah.
But he did have one of those moments like, all right, let's hear you. Okay.
Crickets.
Okay.
And then the important part will be retention of the key players, several of which have already entered the transfer portal. Though it looks like some of the players who entered the transfer portal were actually at the introductory
Well,
press
Mason
conference.
was there and Templin was there, which are the two that kind of everybody is really caring about.
Yeah.
No offense to the others. So.
Yeah.
I don't think Mason Falsov's going anywhere. I think he's an Aggie. I don't know what Utah State puts in the water up there, but Sam Merrill stayed at Utah State, loyal Aggie.
But Templin had entered the transfer portal, so him being at the introductory press conference is probably a very good sign.
I didn't realize he had officially done that.
A couple days ago.
Did he?
So.
Okay.
At least that was the report. I didn't talk to him.
Okay.
We have it at KSL Sports. So if he's there, that's a good sign.
Okay. What's next?
Oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Jazz battle hard against Donovan and the Cavs.
The Jazz fell last night. All is going according to plan.
Can I tell you what I think is a good thing about Cody Williams? You talked a little bit about him in the last segment. What he is doing right now, he can do with a more crowded roster, like guard and cut.
Yes,
he can do all of that stuff with that role. For example, what Bryce Sensabaugh has done at times is not going to be his role on the team when it's a more crowded roster. It's like Bryce is never going to get 20 shots.
Correct.
On the Jazz. And I get it that Cody took, 22 last night. He's probably not going to get 22 shots when the roster is full-blown and ready to go. But what he can do is do exactly how he's playing offense, where he is playing without the ball, moving without the ball, cutting. And when he's got an open shot, he stepped in and took a shot he was comfortable with. I don't think it even needs to be a three, but to have the confidence to make it when he's playing with other talented players, he can still do all of that.
I put that video up on our KSL Instagram, KSL Sports Instagram page. Why is Cody passing on threes to dribble into twos? And he said, open threes are good for me, and open mid-range shots are great for me. He says, I'm making it at a really high level right now, and I'm really comfortable with it. And I've got to find a way to score, but you're right. And even Will Hardy after the game said, I asked him, what if Cody is real? What is he doing that actually is going to translate when a game is on the line or when the minutes are actually important? Because right now this is an exhibition game. And he said the first thing he said was his defense. He's really long. He gets a lot of deflections. And then, yes, is the quote we just played coming in the Jazz update, which was, he's finding a little way to use some of his size to hit those mid-range shots, and that's a plus for him. And then most importantly, and I'm with you, and it's where I'm a little skeptical on Kyle Filipowski, and I'm still skeptical on Bryce Sensabaugh, and I'm very skeptical of what Kennedy Chandler's doing. When you scale it down to your actual role on a good NBA team, which might be 8 to 12 minutes, does that still matter, or can you still do it without developing a rhythm? And with Cody, I think the answer is yes. And the always big fear with Kyle Filipowski, and he wins the MVP in the Summer League, and he's averaged, 23 points a game over his last 3, is you're not, he's only playing 24 minutes a night right now, but you're never going to be the focus of the offense. You're never going to be the best offensive player on the floor, which he is right now. So what else do you do to help?
Yeah.
And I don't know. That's where their futures are murky, where I actually think Cody, you can scale it down and still be effective.
Listen, the nerds on this mid-range shot thing, because Cody, the important thing for him to just get to your spot.
Yeah.
Every player has spots on the floor. If you can get to your spot, he's going to make, whatever you see these guys bang him in practice. He's going to make more than he misses if he gets to a spot. But the nerds, Ben, have ruined how people watch basketball.
Uh-huh.
Because, and I'll use Quinn Snyder as an example, but he's not the only one, have convinced everybody that the mid-range shot is such a bad shot, everybody cringes when somebody takes it.
Even if they make it.
Yeah. The mid-range shot is not a bad shot.
It's not an evil shot.
It's not an evil shot. You know what it kind of reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of during the pandemic when people would freak out if you see a picture online of somebody standing too close to somebody and everybody's like, oh my gosh. Yeah. And it's like, okay, well, in a normal world, people can stand close to each other, and you don't have to flip out.
Right.
It's okay. But you've trained your brain to flip out about the proximity of one person to another. People have trained their brains to flip out about somebody taking a mid-range shot.
Right.
Listen, during the height of all the nerddom, I watched Chris Paul single-handedly beat the Jazz in a playoff series with mid-range shots.
Banging mid-range shots.
I'm old enough to have watched Kobe Bryant play, who basically took nothing but mid-range shots. Michael Jordan basically took nothing but mid-range shots.
Right.
And just because they got Jordan Clarkson to play slightly less selfish by cutting out his mid-range shots and it improved his shooting percentage.
Some of his mid-range shots.
Yeah, then everybody's like, oh, well, mid-range shots, you can't take any of that. No. I'd rather have Cody Williams take a mid-range jumper from his spot that is going down than some awkward three just because it's a three.
That he can't make.
Again, Arizona in the NCAA tournament could possibly win the national championship by basically cutting threes out of their diet, but taking high percentage shots where their players can make them. I mean, we've just trained ourselves to, it's got to be a three or a dunk. It's got to be a three or a dunk. And I get the philosophy that goes into it. But it doesn't mean that these other shots are not useful and high percentage for certain players.
No, it's kind of interesting. You remember early on in the Golden State Warriors run, and they revolutionized three-point shooting. They had a guy who came off the bench who just banged mid-range shots over and over, who had a very similar body type to Cody Williams, and that's Sean Livingston.
Yep.
He just got to the mid-range. He was really tall, and he had great touch. And it was just this weird counter of the entire team spreads out to shoot threes, and then all of a sudden there's this dude here who's hitting mid-range shots, and it's like, we forgot about that. And he just would get 6 to 8 points a game and then played really good defense. And that's probably where Cody's future is. Play really good defense, make other teams' lives hard, get a lot of deflections, and then you have to do something offensively. And if the only thing you can do is hit 15-footers, fine. But you got to be able to do something. And he can do this now. So it's a promising growth for Cody to become an 8th or a 9th man on the team. It's bad if you're DeMar DeRozan. I do mid-range shots if you're going to take 15 of them a night, 16 of them a night, and you're DeMar DeRozan, it caps your ceiling. That's not who Cody Williams needs to be. He's not going to be your number one scorer, so that's fine.
And let's not pretend that DeMar DeRozan hasn't had a ton of success
and isn't a future
in the
Hall
NBA.
of Famer. Right, he's going to the Hall of Fame.
Took his team to the Eastern Conference Finals like 2 years in a row.
Yeah. No, DeMar's a very good player.
And then they trade for Kawhi and actually win it, and everybody thinks DeMar's a clown.
Right. But no, he's a good player.
He's a really good player.
Yep.
So I don't know. And do people know what a bad shot a floater is? Nobody seems to freak out about floaters at all.
Yeah.
A floater is a terrible shot. I'd much rather have Cody Williams or whoever taking a 15-footer than somebody taking some wild floater.
Yeah.
And he ran over. Sorry.
Yeah.
Next.
Number 3, Utes Forward Keanu Hawes enters transfer portal.
This was the big player last summer they made a push to holding on to, and I know a lot of people really excited about him, and I was a litlittle mixed on him. I get he's got size, and he can hit threes a little bit, and, he has some skills. It's not a good sign that they're losing him. Alex Jensen is starting over again and hitting the reset button, as is the women's basketball team. I mean, basketball does continue to be a disaster up on the hill, unfortunately, for the University of Utah, though I'm not sure losing Keanu Hawes is the ultimate, if they lost him, they've got nothing. I mean, they needed to hit the reset button entirely on this roster.
Yeah. Jimmy Buffett had a great song on the album Beach House on the Moon called I Don't Know and I Don't Care.
Uh-huh.
Why would I care that a player is leaving the worst team in the Big 12? I don't know and I don't care.
Yeah.
Until Utah gives us something to care about, why would you?
Yeah. And I don't blame Utah sports fans for not caring.
Dallin Hall left BYU last year. Basically, nobody batted an eye. He goes to UVA and plays a key role on a tournament team.
Yep.
That is something to get bent out of shape about. If you're losing good players on a good team, I mean, I don't know. What do I care? They got to get good players. They've got to get better players. Be competitive in the Big 12, and then you can worry about who you keep and who you don't. At this point, shouldn't Alex be looking to make a complete turnover?
Yeah.
And by the way college athletics is structured now, I don't care who's coming and going. Call me when it's the first game.
Absolutely right. Call me when it's the 20th game, actually.
Nerds like Bart will have to keep all over it for Utah.
Catching strays.
No, I'm not even saying a stray. It's quite literally his job.
Uh-huh.
I'm saying he's got Maddie on his back. He's got to make sure and get that good content out. But honestly.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
I don't know. I don't care.
Yeah.
It's probably a good thing he's leaving.
You got to start over somewhere. And I've said it a long time since we've been doing the show. I don't know how you build a college basketball team now unless you just have millions of dollars. And that's not the only way to do it because Utah State continues to find ways to win. There are schools around the country who have fewer resources than Utah that are winning. That's what Alex Jensen has to figure out how to do. I don't know how to do it. If I knew how to do it, I'd have him call me. But, I don't know, and I'm curious if Alex Jensen knows.
It's a good song, that I don't know and I don't care. It's a good philosophy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't care. All right, stay tuned. We'll have more Jake and Ben coming up next. Doug Gottlieb, of all people, weighed into the AJ Dybantsa conversation. So we'll play some comments from the University of Wisconsin Green Bay head coach.
/ podcaster.
Is that right? University of Wisconsin Green Bay? I thought he gave up on that.
I thought he gave up on the coaching job so he could keep podcasting.
Am
I wrong? Did he stop podcasting?
I had no idea. I know he doesn't do his radio show. I don't know about him.
Do some research.
I don't know about a podcast. I'm certainly not seeking out Doug Gottlieb's podcast. I think it was the most arrogant thing ever and disrespectful to both jobs to think that he could continue to do it. Yeah.
I agree.
His boss should have been, in both jobs, should have been hard no, Dougie.
Yep. I'm with you.
We'll
say no to Doug.
Say no to Doug. Stay tuned. More next. 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone.
Hey, I'm Josh Spiegel, host of the podcast Lunatic in the Newsroom. If you enjoy journalism that drifts into mild panic, wild overthinking, and a guaranteed nervous breakdown, Lunatic in the Newsroom is for you. It's news like you've never heard before. The only newsroom with a panic button. You'll laugh, you'll cry, and gasp in horror as the show spirals completely out of control. It's not just news, it's emotionally unstable. Lunatic in the Newsroom. Listen today.
I sold my car in Carvana last night.
Well, that's cool.
No, you don't understand. It went perfectly. Real offer, down to the penny. They're picking it up tomorrow. Nothing went wrong.
So, what's the problem?
That is the problem. Nothing in my life goes as smoothly. I'm waiting for the catch.
Maybe there's no catch.
That's exactly what a catch would want me to think.
Wow, you need to relax.
I need to knock on wood. Do we have wood? Is this table wood?
I think it's laminate.
Okay, yeah, that's good. That's close enough.
Car selling without a catch. Sell your car today on
Carvana.
Pickup fees may apply.
Whether it's the Jazz, Utes, Cougars, or Aggies, these guys have got you covered.
Time to eat, fellas.
You're locked on to Jake Scott and Ben Anderson.
1, 2, 3, move it.
On 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. We're teaming up with Beehive Meals, honoring people that impact youth sports in our communities. Nominate the youth sports volunteer you know for the Beehive Meals Hero of the Week at kslsports.com/contests. Then listen every Thursday to JJ and Alex for the winner. It's the Beehive Meals Hero of the Week. Everybody knows this song, and I like Margaritaville, but it is, my opinion, not Jimmy's best.
Okay.
I like Come Monday is my favorite, but this is a good song.
I'm not well versed.
No?
No.
He has more range than you'd think.
Okay. But yeah, this is the only one you hear.
Right.
And I've been to his restaurant, Margaritaville. We got overtaken by cockroaches, and they comped our meal. So shout out to Jimmy. Yeah, it was crazy. We were in Florida.
Oh, the Florida one, not the Vegas one?
No, and we were sitting on the deck, and all of a sudden there was just cockroaches everywhere. And they had to comp the entire balcony's food for
good reason.
5 tables. Yeah, it was disgusting. But Florida's disgusting.
A lot of cockroaches.
A lot of cockroach people, a lot of cockroach creatures.
Harsh.
Yeah, well.
Harsh.
Live there. You'll know what I'm talking about.
All right, Ben. Just a quick update since we don't have a ton of time, and we'll get to the Gottlieb, the Gottlieb comments on AJ Dybantsa coming up next. So stay tuned for that. But there more details are coming out about the Tiger Woods thing.
Yeah,
and we don't need to get into the weeds other than he had 2 hydrocodone pills in his pocket when he was arrested.
Like loose?
Like loose.
Just putting loose pills in his pockets?
And I guess the only reason I bring this up is this dude is an addict and he needs help. Because you don't have 2 loose hydrocodone in your pocket unless you're taking like 15 a day, and you can't go down the he's 5 minutes from his house. I mean, where's he going? He can't go to the store without having 2
in his pocket.
2 in his pocket.
Right. I have ibuprofen in my car right now. If you check the center console, there's going to be like some gloves for the winter and a little bottle that says ibuprofen, that has ibuprofen on it. But no, I'm not stuffing them in my pockets.
That's probably been there for 3 years. Yeah,
exactly.
No, right. Yeah. I mean, it's somebody that, he's got, it's just another sign in there. My opinion, he's likely, I shouldn't slander anybody, I suppose, but likely has a huge problem. And I hope that the people close to him are not defending him by saying he just wants his privacy, but actually saying, dude, you're not going to be long for this world if you don't get this thing under control.
You need help. He needs help.
Anyway, there's some other details that come out. He was asked if he took prescription medication or takes prescription medication. He says, I took a few. He failed a field sobriety test. They made him take off his glasses, and his eyes were bloodshot and glassy. He couldn't follow you've seen the test, couldn't follow the pen or whatever. And just bad news. Should not have been behind the wheel. Also admitted that he was looking at his phone when it happened, which is another thing that doesn't make it better.
No, Tiger, and that's not why you crashed. That might have been part of the reason you crashed, but yeah, adding another ball to the juggling routine is not good. Well, I was intoxicated under...
It was the drugs.
It was the drugs.
And the phone.
And I was driving recklessly, and then I was on my phone. And I have a history of this. Other than that, I was cool. I'm cool to be out there. He's got to stop driving. He's got to stop doing drugs.
No, I think his big problem is the drugs. I really do. Well, of course, stop driving. Start there for sure.
Yeah.
But I hope the dude gets help. I really do.
I'm with you. Yeah, it's too bad. He's one of the great athletes of our lifetime and is not going to be able to be celebrated for it.
Well, and he's also become more well-adjusted and likable as he's gotten, because he was a machine. Remember, Correct. He wasn't all that likable. He's actually shown some personality. He plays, his son is up and coming, and we've seen those endearing moments or whatever. It'd be really a shame to have it all derailed by
whatever this is.
Yep,
I'm with you.
Yeah. All right, stay tuned. Doug Gottlieb's talking about AJ Dybantsa. We're going to hear what he has to say.
Yep.
Coming up next, Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Hey, sweetie, your mother showed me this Carvana thing for selling the car. I'm going to give it a try. Wish me luck. Me again. I put in the license plate. It gave me an offer. Unbelievable. Okay, I accepted the offer. They're picking it up Tuesday from the driveway. I haven't even left my chair. It's done. The car's gone. I'm holding a check. Anyway, Carvana, give it a whirl. Love ya.
So good, you'll want to leave a voicemail about it. Sell your car today on Carvana. Pickup fees may apply.
Who's got it better than us? Nobody!
Your home for the best sports coverage in Utah. You're listening to Jake Scott and Ben Anderson on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Want to remind you about Hercules First Federal Credit Union, growing stronger together. Former radio bozo Doug Gottlieb is now the head basketball coach at University of Wisconsin-Green Bay.
Which finished third this year in the Horizon League behind powerhouse Wright State and Robert Morris, and just ahead of up-and-comer Detroit Mercy.
Okay. Christian's SUU.
I had no idea what league they played in or who was in the league.
SUU used to be in the Horizon.
Okay.
Back in the day. Yeah, I mean, considering they won like 2 games the year before, I guess it's an improvement.
Yeah, he's doing okay.
I suppose. He did have to quit his radio show. I have not confirmed if he has a podcast still. Do not care. Do not know. I do not care.
Yeah.
But he was on with Colin Cowherd, and they started talking about AJ Dybantsa. And let's listen to those comments.
AJ Dybantsa probably today would go number 1.
First thing everybody should know is that if the Utah Jazz have the number 1 pick, they're taking AJ Dybantsa. How do I know? He went to Utah Prep, which is funded by Ryan Smith. He went to BYU, which is funded by Ryan Smith. Ryan Smith owns the Utah Jazz. If you want to call something tampering, there's never been a person that has ever been tampered with more than AJ Dybantsa to end up with the Utah Jazz. Ever, ever, ever in the history of anything. Everybody knows it. Everybody.
Yes, getting AJ to Utah and then getting AJ to go to BYU was certainly very closely aligned. That was not an accidental development. Now, people should know, not that anyone's listening to this internationally, I think, but where AJ played high school is not exactly in BYU's backyard.
No, it's in southern Utah.
It's in southern Utah, which is not the
Where is
south
it, Ivans?
Of a state in the east, and he comes from Massachusetts. But you talk about southern Massachusetts versus northern Massachusetts. What is it, 90 minutes?
Yeah,
Southern
right.
Utah to northern Utah is 5 or 6 hours. So it's not like he was necessarily close. The same way if a player played in, Miami and then said, well, I want to go to Georgia Tech. It's not like they're actually in each other's backyard. That's actually quite a haul. The state of Florida is disgusting, but it is very large also, and it's hard to get to. Utah is not closely in the backyard, though, yes, I do truly believe A.J. Dybantsa came to play at Utah Prep with an eye of going to BYU. I do think that was aligned.
Help me with this, and I'm asking legitimately. You throw around a word like tampering, and everybody goes, oh, tampering, that's bad. What is he accusing Ryan Smith of doing wrong?
I don't know if he actually is accusing Ryan Smith of doing anything wrong.
He's accusing him of tampering. I want to know.
Sure, if you think tampering's bad, and you're assuming that he's implying that tampering is bad. I don't know if Doug Gottlieb is implying that tampering is actually a bad thing, other than he does want it to be pointed out that this seems like this was set in motion from the time AJ was 17 years old.
But define tampering. What are you talking about? Can Mark Cuban not donate to the University of Indiana?
Right.
Can Miriam Adelson not contribute to UNLV's NIL? I'm serious. Can Ryan Smith not start I don't even know if he started it, but can he not start a basketball academy? Why is that? Again, what is he accusing him of? And I don't understand, because the NBA has this little thing called the draft.
Uh-huh.
And
the lottery.
So what is he accused? What advantage has Ryan Smith given him? Establishing a relationship with a player that he might or might not be able to get 8 years from now?
And
what's wrong with that anyway?
No, here's kind of the
what if it was a GM instead of the owner? What if Danny Ainge goes to every basketball game played in the state?
Uh-huh.
He's at AA high school games. All of a sudden, Danny Ainge is there. Can he not have a relationship with a player or talk to a player, or is that tampering? I mean, I'm legitimately asking what he is accusing Ryan Smith of doing.
That's
wrong.
Let's start at the end here, and let's say it does happen where the Jazz end up with AJ Dybantsa, and it's gone through this entire process. This is one of the great coups of all time if you're Ryan Smith, in all honesty. Because we have talked about, how did the Cleveland Cavaliers win a championship? It just so happened that one of the greatest players of all time was born in their town. How crazy is that? Otherwise, Cleveland is never on the map. They never have Donovan Mitchell because nobody cares about the Cleveland Cavaliers because nobody cared about him before. LeBron got there. It just so happens. So actually, if the Jazz end up with AJ, and he's good, and it goes through this long process of him wanting to be here and happy to be here, and it coincides with going to BYU and going to Utah Prep, credit Ryan, because I'm sure a lot of owners would do that if they felt like they had an ability to do it. In fact, it probably has happened before. But yes, if you have the ability to do it that, straightforward, laying out the plan, I would say credit Ryan because I don't think there's anything wrong with it. But I will tell you firsthand, not to reverse engineer it, but to go in order, like I have sat at Jazz games where AJ Dybantsa is in attendance. And I know where Justin Zanuck sits, and I know where Ryan Smith sits, and I know where Danny Ainge sits, and I know what they're doing pregame, and I see where AJ is, and AJ's always with his dad, Ace. And when AJ comes out, they leave because they do not get to talk to players right now before the draft. And maybe they do it behind the scenes. It's very possible they've done it at BYU. I don't know. But I do know that you can't actually talk to players before that. So some of these tampering rules that they're being accused of, the Jazz actually, at least forward-facing, are not tampering, I think, the way some people would read into based on what Doug Gottlieb is saying.
I just don't know what rule they have broken. And when does that rule go into effect? When can you not talk to a possible draft pick, and whose evaluation is it a draft pick? Like, can Ryan Smith talk to Kepa Keita?
Right.
I don't think he's on any draft boards. So, you know what? Because tampering in the NBA is a thing, right?
Of course.
You cannot talk to somebody who's under contract with another team, period. Right. That's tampering. He's not doing it. Tampering is a thing.
You certainly can't recruit him. You can talk to him, but you can't recruit them.
Tampering is a thing in college. You can't even talk about him. Magic Johnson got fined for making a comment on a late night show.
Paul George.
Because Paul George was under contract with another franchise. That's definable, and you understand what that is in the NBA. In college, tampering is a thing. You're not supposed to talk to another team's player. Now, it happens all the time, of course, but that is definable, and that's what that is.
Yeah.
Just because you own an NBA team, you cannot contribute to a basketball academy. You cannot contribute to a university. That's ridiculous.
And look, I actually don't know how much money Ryan Smith has or has not given to BYU.
I don't
He
either.
has denied giving money to BYU. He has consistently deflected the recruiting efforts of BYU.
He hasn't denied giving money to BYU.
But
he's downplayed it.
when
He hasn't denied it.
Like, he's been on this station when AJ Dybantsa committed, and he said, don't credit me. He said, credit everybody else. He said, this is everybody else's doing. Now, that might be in a way to deflect, yes, that he had a part in this or whatever part he played. I don't know what role he played in Utah Prep, to be honest with you, at all. I have no idea.
No, I don't know either. But I guarantee he's responsible for those Jazz tickets because you saw AJ at Jazz games. He didn't pay for those, I'm sure.
Yeah, I have no idea.
But it doesn't matter. These are the rules in college basketball. You can contribute to NIL. I don't care if he paid all of it.
Yeah.
I get why he wants to downplay it because he doesn't want to be the face of it necessarily.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. And Doug Gottlieb wished Ryan Smith cared about Wisconsin Green Bay.
Sure, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Who's the owner of the Bucks? You think if the Bucks owner was pouring money into old Duggar's program, he would be complaining about somebody else tampering?
Yeah.
That's the funny part.
No, of course not.
Of course not.
No, you would take it.
But I don't think Ryan Smith's doing anything wrong. I don't know. Maybe you know the rules a little bit better than I do, and I guess they're being sensitive about it, but he's not doing a dang thing wrong.
No, I think the Jazz have been very smart about how they're doing it.
Honestly, this is where it's headed. Sooner or later, we're going to get to the European soccer model where you're going to start developing players at these academies, and that the NBA is going to own and run it from the top down. That's the direction that this whole thing is going. Sorry, high school sports, but it's on its way out.
It does already exist. It's called the AAU circuit, but it's not the professional teams that own it. It's the shoe companies that own it.
Yep.
That's what it is.
That's what it is.
And the NBA teams are going to say, why are we letting Nike and Adidas and Reebok decide all of these things? Why are we letting them get in the middle of this? And I know they contribute a lot of money, but we don't want them to control where Donovan Mitchell goes to college or where AJ Dybantsa goes to college. We don't want them to have a say. We want to have a say. And it's not going to be based on the shoes you liked when you were 15 years old anymore. It's going to be based on what we think and how we can recruit you. And yes, I think that is going to happen.
I think that's where we're going. And that's, you know what? That's fine. I may be a little uncomfortable with the prospect. I'm sure college basketball and high school basketball, I'm sure they both hate it. But I think we already see it with RSL, right? And honestly, my opinion with solving the tanking problem, just get rid of the draft. Go to this system where you've got to go discover players and develop them and put them in your academy and do all that stuff. I mean, if you really want to fix tanking, that's the way to fix tanking. How do you get the best players? Well, you develop them. You know, Rudy Gobert went to a basketball academy when he was 12.
Uh-huh.
And that's how they do it in Europe. And it's the way we're going to end up doing it here.
It's how they do it in the NHL. I mean, it's not like it's foreign to American soil either. You have host families that you will go live with in the city, and you play with their teams, and you get an understanding. And the Mammoth are going to start doing this. Now, you still have to go through the draft, and there is a lottery, which does not mean you're going to necessarily end up with your team. But there are players that work their way up through entire systems based on the city they started. You know, it absolutely has to happen. So it will eventually happen in the NBA as well, and I do think you're right. Now, the NBA may try to crack down on this. They may try and stop it if they can find some straight line. But as you said, the stopgap here is the Jazz are going to have at best a 10% chance of getting AJ Dybantsa in the draft. You know, a 1 in 10 chance.
Oh, not even close to 1 in 10. There's I don't know, Ben, way less than that. If he's going to be the number 1 pick, the Jazz
will
aren't
have
getting
a 10% chance. If the Jazz right now finish with the 5th worst record, the lottery balls say they have a 10% chance. Now, the other thing I would say here is if AJ goes number 1 to the Jazz, guys, AJ's going number 1 regardless. AJ's going to be the number 1 overall pick. Like, I actually don't think that's going to be that big of a mystery by the time we get to the draft. And you're going to hear stuff about, oh, this team likes Cam Boozer. Oh, this team really likes Darren Peterson. And this is interesting because we always like to drum up drama at the last minute. You know, there was, again, as you talked about the late, like, what if Scoot Henderson jumps Wemby at the last minute? Like, I actually think by the time we get to the draft, it's going to be pretty obvious that AJ is going to be the number 1 player. I thought he was the best player in college basketball this year. He and Cam Boozer, and he's got a better pro prospect than Cam Boozer does because of his size. So I think those are going to be benefits for him. This is not, because this clip actually goes on and says that, you know, hell or high water, the Jazz would draft AJ over any prospect that could be in this draft.
That's everybody.
Yeah, that's everybody. Correct. That's going to be everybody. That's not just the Utah Jazz, and that's not the Jazz being lazy. I mean, AJ's that level of player.
Man, I don't like Doug Gottlieb.
I'm not a Doug Gottlieb guy either. Again, say no to Doug's. But him trying to crack in here like it's something controversial, I think is probably a little bit misguided. Yeah, and, oh man, if you think BYU recruiting a player to play at a local high school is the first time this has ever happened.
Is that what it is? Is that it's BYU?
I do think that is part of it. I do think it's
because everybody goes, why would this guy go to BYU? And so there has to be something nefarious. This is all above board.
Yeah, correct. And go back, look at, you know who did this? Udoka Azubuike. Udoka Azubuike comes over from Africa and is getting recruited by colleges because he's discovered, and every college wants Udoka to go play at their high school locally.
Yep.
So he goes to their college. Like, AJ came from Massachusetts, right? That's where he's from?
Yep.
Udoka came from Africa.
Yeah.
Like, this is happening. This has been happening for a long time. AJ coming to Utah to end up at BYU was not exactly the most tampering. It just turned out that Udoka Azubuike stunk, and AJ's actually really good. Yeah,
well, Doak was good in college. I mean,
he was. He was a very good college
Big 12
player.
player of the year.
Yeah, he was.
Can't turn up your nose at that.
Correct.
You know, Charlie Ward didn't play in the NFL, but he still won the Heisman.
Yes. He was a good NBA player.
Average NBA player. Pretty cool that he was a 2-sport guy, I suppose.
Yeah, for sure.
But I get your point. No, that happens. I mean, talk to basically any high school coach out there. They'll either have stories or they have their own connections where in Europe, or in this case, Africa, but the agents in Europe will bring their players over and stash them in high schools depending on their college programs. It's commonplace.
Yeah, it happens.
But yeah, I don't know what he's complaining about. I just don't get it. Tampering? Is he really tampering? Or is he paying a college athlete, which he can? Again, I don't know. Can Mark Cuban not contribute to Indiana basketball?
I don't know. I know I can look at the tweets because we've written the article. I believe Brian wrote this article, and he embedded a tweet from Ryan Smith. And Ted Farron on Twitter, who I don't know who that is, says, BYU's going to a whole new level with you making this happen. He tweets at Ryan. And Ryan Smith says, love the passion, but for your information, I can't take credit. I'm not the donor here. Outside of buying tickets to BYU games, I don't give any money to AJ I didn't give any money to bring AJ to BYU. Got to give credit where credit's due. And that's all Kevin Young.
Is that a money's fungible kind of thing?
Well,
because I don't believe that Ryan is not contributing to BYU athletics or BYU basketball or whatever. I don't.
Well, this was why I was very skeptical about Morgan Scalley out of nowhere donating $2 million to the Utah program. It's like, well, maybe X donor can't donate directly or whatever it is. Maybe Ryan Smith can't donate directly to BYU, but he can help fund Kevin Young's contract. And if Kevin Young then says, well, I've got this money and I'm going to turn around to invest in NIL, and that's not what I'm saying happened here. But there are loopholes to find ways for guys to get money.
$10 million, but it was for new seats.
Yeah, for arena expansion.
Yeah, right.
But we also had another $10 million.
But then we took that dough and we gave it to AJ. Yeah, that feels like a money is fungible kind of thing. Totally he shouldn't have to hide from it. I honestly don't think he's doing anything wrong.
Yeah. Well, unless the NBA draws a very straight line that says, college players in your state can't go to your school or go to your basketball team. Yeah, I don't know why it would be an issue, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I understand why you'd want to downplay it, but I don't know why you'd run from it. Who cares?
And again, AJ has to go through the draft.
Yeah.
There's no way for the Jazz to really tamper with getting him to Utah.
No, he's under contract basically for the first 7 years of his career, wherever he's drafted.
Yeah.
So that's the long game. Good for you. But I don't know if I'd call that. I don't think he's doing anything wrong. I really don't.
Now, I do think there is a bit of a clandestine effort by Ryan to bring players through Utah before they get to the NBA to establish that, hey, I know Doug Gottlieb thinks Utah's crazy. I know there's this reputation that Utah's crazy. Utah's not that crazy. And the truth is Utah is not that crazy. No. It's not that different compared to most states. Salt Lake City is a lot like a lot of mid-level cities across the country, and it has its quirks, as does every single city. But I do think there is an effort by people, especially Ryan, to establish that Utah's fine.
Well,
and you would be fine if you lived here.
We have disadvantages here in Utah, and we certainly have some wacky laws that aren't necessarily my favorite. But the way that the laws are set up for schools and charter schools and all that stuff, we are pretty, I don't want to say unique because there are other states like it, but we're really able to create these academies. And you can look back to the U.S. ski team and the U.S. ski team academy that's been here since the 80s. My friend Amber that's where she went to high school, where it's a school.
It's a
you go
academy.
To school.
European style.
But the idea is to develop U.S. ski team skiers or whatever. And so we've been doing that for a very long time. And the way that our laws are set up, it's easy to set up these basketball academies or RSL academy or whatever the case may be. So if we have that advantage, Ryan can play it. Why not?
No, that's the other part of this.
Or not even Ryan, or we can play it. Attract basketball talent to the state. What's the one down in Utah County? Not the one AJ went to, but the other one. Wasatch Academy?
Wasatch Academy. Yeah.
Pumping out dudes.
Yep.
Why not? Attracting people from all over the country to come here and play basketball. Why is that a bad thing?
And look, we cover the Jazz, and you and I are both close to the Jazz. Me as a writer, you do in the pre-half and post-game shows. But I don't think that's why we're saying this. If this works for Ryan, good for him.
It's his money. I don't care.
Yeah, if this ends up being a way that he gets a star player to Utah, again,
eventually.
Yeah, teams have taken advantage of that. Cleveland has taken advantage of having LeBron James in Cleveland. It really helped them. And then they still had to get luck to get the number 1 overall pick to be able to draft him that year. Now, they positioned themselves and they tanked to make sure that they could have a chance to draft him, but it did work out. It's not the first time this has happened. Maybe this direct route, it's possible, but no, certainly not the first team to take advantage of an opportunity of having a player locally.
Utah State has a new head coach, Ben.
Okay.
He had a press conference this morning.
Okay.
We'll let you hear it coming up next.
Okay.
Stay tuned. Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Mom, can you tell me a story?
Sure. Once upon a time, a mom needed a new car.
Was she brave?
She was tired, mostly. But she went to Carvana.com and found a great car at a great price. No secret treasure map required.
Did you have to fight a dragon?
Nope. She bought it 100% online. From her bed, actually.
Was it scary?
Honey, it was as unscary as car buying could be.
Did the car have a sunroof?
It did, actually.
Okay, good story.
Car buying you'll want to tell stories about. Buy your car today on
Carvana.
Delivery fees may apply.
These guys have got you covered.
Time to eat, fellas.
You're locked on to Jake Scott and Ben Anderson.
1, 2, 3, move it.
On 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Join Scotty G today from noon to 3 at Tim Daly Mazda in Sandy, 10785 South Auto Mall Drive. Go hang out with our guy, Scotty G.
I like Scotty.
Yeah, Scotty's the best, dude. Scott, I wonder who his friends are today. Are you his friend today?
I'm Scotty's friend every day.
Well, yeah, obviously.
What do you mean on the radio?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, I don't think so. Nobody's asked me.
Speaking of Scotty G, he moonlights as the voice of your Utah State Aggies.
Yep.
And the Aggies have a new coach. He's Ben Jacobson. He was introduced today up in Logan at a press conference. Said he's worn a suit, the same suit, 3 times in the last several days, and it's the first time in like 6 years he's worn a suit.
Okay.
Which I thought was kind of funny.
Yeah.
My type of dude. But here, let's play. We're going to try to get to all of it, but it's about 12 minutes. But as you get to know, the newest Utah State basketball coach here has been Jacobson.
This is special, and Cam mentioned it a couple times, and I'll get to it in my remarks. But it's special because of you guys sitting right there in row 2. Right? This is why we do it. Okay, this is why I do it for you guys that are sitting right there. I appreciate you being here this morning, but just understand this is about you guys. Okay, I'm going to start with some thank yous if that's okay. President Mortensen and Camille, thank you. Thank you for taking time the half hour to come down and see me. That meant a lot to me, right? And in the process and in making this decision that you would take time to do that. So thank you. Cam and your staff, Ike, Emily, and Carter, you guys have been great. You can feel the energy and the camaraderie and wanted to make sure I was able to be a part of that. And I think that most of you understand this, and I'm getting to Cam. This guy's got a plan, doesn't he? And he's not afraid to share it. He's not afraid to talk about his vision and all of the places that we can go. And I appreciate that about you, Cam. And I can't wait to start knocking those off. Okay, really appreciate your trust in me. Our football coach and Holly came down to dinner the other night. That meant a lot to Don and I to get a chance to do that. Look forward to building that relationship. Thanks, Coach, for being there. My wife, Dawn, is here this morning, and we've got 2 boys. Hunter's 22 years old. Tanner's 20 years old. Hunter was on our team for 4 years and just finishing up his career. He's going to student teach and then be a GA. And I tried to get him out here, but he's pretty tied to that Cedar Falls community. And then Tanner's over at the University of Nebraska, going to business school over there. And their support, some of the conversations that we had over the last 5 or 6 days have just been tremendous. Obviously, their support means a lot to me. But really proud of those 2 guys, and so grateful and thankful, Don, for what we're doing. Yep. Thanks. My mom and dad, I've got 3 brothers and a sister. Mom and dad, they've been great. I'm gonna tell you, it's been like one of the wildest rides. Hey, I'm 55 years old, and 2 brothers are close to me, and one's about 10 years younger, and then our sister's the youngest. And growing up in our house, it's okay to dream big. And if you wanted something bad enough, you just got to work for it a little bit, and you can get it. And then just treat people good. Be good to people, right? And treat people well. So those things were with us the entire time, and they've stayed with me in my coaching. And then 2 guys that have meant the most to me in basketball is my head coach, Rich Glass, at the University of North Dakota, and Greg McDermott was my assistant coach at that time, and most recently, Coach Mack was at Creighton, and I think as basketball people, we all understand what's happened at Creighton and everything that they have done, and those 2 have meant a lot to me. They taught me that this isn't about offense and defense. This is about relationships, right? And building those and having them be in a place where you're able to accomplish special things. So I really appreciate about those 2 guys. And then the University of Northern Iowa, right? When as the president mentioned, being at a place for a long time. When you stay somewhere for a long time, that of course would indicate that it's a special place. They awfully good to Don and I and our family, but just a really special place. I want to thank them today. So why after 20 years, 25 years, what is it? What are we so excited about, and why am I standing here right now? It's I said it, but it's row 2, right? To be able to take on this challenge with you guys and the way in which you've done it already. Okay, so we were the next game, right? After your game with Villanova, and we were standing right there when you guys came off that floor, and the excitement. And of course, after you win an NCAA tournament game, right, there's going to be a little bit of excitement. You're going to be bouncing around a little bit, but you could feel the camaraderie, right? And feel the excitement. And I wanted to be part of that. Cam laid out, and we know it. You know, the tremendous success that we have had here. And you can look at the numbers and you can read them and you can see all of the different things, and wanting to be a part of that, very exciting as well. You know, and what a place to do it, right? Our gymnasium, what a place to do it. I'm going to make sure I get it right. 117 and 21 over the last 9 seasons in our gymnasium. So what a place to be able to do it. And I know a lot of that has to do with the herd. I've watched a lot. I've been told a lot. So it's okay if you guys want to hoot and holler for just a second. Like, I would love to hear a little bit of the herd right now. And I'm excited about doing more, right? About the challenge ahead of us with the Pac-12, right? And challenging the herd to, not right now, but when we get back in there, being louder and doing more. And I'll challenge the guys when I get to that point. And one of those, and I said it we had a brief Zoom call. One of those things I talked about was, okay, that first weekend in the NCAA tournament, that's special, right? But there's a next weekend, right? And there's a next weekend after that. And what does that feel like, right? The excitement of that, with the new league and with our leadership and with this group. What does that next weekend look like and feel like, right? Fortunate to have been there as a head coach, right? And want to do that together. There's a ton of excitement in that. I get most excited about people, right? All of you in this room, everything you've done for Utah State, continue to do. Our president, Cam, the guys in the team, that's what I get most excited about. I just touched on it in terms of what I'm looking forward to. I've said this a lot. You're going to hear me say it again. I absolutely love coaching. I love coaching. The only thing I love more is being part of a team. I don't know a time for me when I have not been part of a team, right? And that responsibility that comes with it, counting on the guy or gal next to you, right? And knowing that you're being counted on, right? Man, I love doing this, right? And I'm as excited and ready as I've ever been. Probably the most ready that I have been in my head coaching career. But I love being a part of a team. There is nothing more special than being part of a team. And I look forward to doing that with everybody. Partnering with the community in the Cache Valley, supporting our other teams, being on campus, getting with everybody and being there for each other as head coaches. That's something I'm really looking forward to. And then the vision laid out by Cam, right? I don't know that that I make this move at this time, if not for the vision that Cam had, right? The things that we are talking about doing, right? And then knowing, really important for me to know his plan, right? And that we can get that done. And obviously the Pac-12, fellas, let's go get it, huh? There's a lot of excitement. I'm really looking forward to what's ahead for us in the new Pac-12, okay, and what that means and what that challenge is going to be like. Okay, let's go get that thing. And I'll wrap it up with you guys, okay? And I mentioned this briefly again on that Zoom call. This is your program, okay? This is your program. The programs only thrive with leadership by the players, okay? Player-led programs. This is your program, right? I'm here to help you. This is your program. We're going to build relationships that extend far beyond hoops, right? Far beyond hoops. The things that you talked about, family, trust, real conversations, okay, that's coming, okay, fellas? Far beyond hoops. Basketball, fast and physical, right? And we're going to play, and this is the part, right? everybody stands up here and says we're going to play 1,000,000 miles an hour, right? As a head coach, fast and physical. Right? We've been doing it for a long time, right? Defensively, we're gonna get in your way and we're gonna fight you. Right? The individual battles, defensive rebounding. We've been in the top 20 in the country. Defensive rebounding percentage for most of the last 10 years. That piece of it's really important to us. It's really important to me. So we're going to fight you on that end. Right? But when we secure that rebound, man, it's all about the energy of the basketball. Right? Hey, we got to go. Right? And we've got to get that basketball moving, and we've got to get into the front court, and we've got to play. And I really look forward to that part with you guys. I can't wait to get to this afternoon. I've had this suit on 3 times in the last 6 days, okay, in this same tie. And I'm glad it worked, right? We're here together, right? But I haven't had it on that many times in the last 6 years. So, I cannot wait to get to this afternoon. And the reason being that we get together. Okay, guys? We get together. And
All right, there you go. Ben Jacobson, the new head coach at Utah State.
I'm excited to see the new Pac-12. I'm excited to see what that looks like. Obviously bringing Gonzaga in is a huge coup, but Utah State's has a good history itself, and we'll see what Ben Jacobson can do there.
Okay. Got a little Mr. Mackey going.
He does. He's got some K's and some all rights that he likes to sprinkle in every 6th or 7th word there.
Okay.
But it should be fun. It's a good opportunity for Utah State. It's a good opportunity for them to jump in. And look, it's a little spread out. It's a little bizarre. It's doing the same thing that the ACC has done because they have to go and travel and play at Northern Illinois and then Gonzaga. Those might be a road trip, and those are nearly opposite sides of the country. But should be a cool conference.
I agree. Stay tuned. We have an update.
Okay.
We have an update to the Dan Hurley headbutt thing. Apparently, old Danny, Ben's guy, went on a podcast to talk about what happened. Mm-hmm. So we'll get to that coming up next. But let's give away some tickets right now. Go ahead, Sean.
It's Jazz Ticket Tuesday, and your chance to win tickets is right now.
Call this number now.
Be caller number 12 at 801-575-ZONE. 801-575-ZONE. And you'll be on your way to Delta Center to see the Utah Jazz.
He fires the 3. He hits. Oh, don't do me like that.
This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Caller 12 right now, you're going to go see the Jazz and the Nuggets coming up tomorrow at Delta Center, 801-575-ZONE, 801-575-ZONE. Update from Dan Hurley coming up next. Stay tuned, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Hi, this is Alex Kantrowitz. I'm the host of Big Technology Podcast, a longtime reporter and an on-air contributor to CNBC. And if you're like me, you're trying to figure out how artificial intelligence is changing the business world and our lives. So each week on Big Technology, I bring on key actors from companies building AI tech and outsiders trying to influence it, asking where this is all going. They come from places like NVIDIA, Microsoft, Amazon, and plenty more. So if you want to be smart with your wallet, your career choices, in meetings with your colleagues, and at dinner parties, listen to Big Technology Podcast wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, sweetie, your mother showed me this Carvana thing for selling the car. I'm going to give it a try. Wish me luck. Me again. I put in the license plate. It gave me an offer. Unbelievable. Okay, I accepted the offer. They're picking it up Tuesday from the driveway. I haven't even left my chair. It's done. The car's gone. I'm holding a check. Anyway, Carvana, give it a whirl. Love ya.
So good, you'll want to leave a voicemail about it. Sell your car today on Carvana. Pickup fees may apply.
Talking sports.
This is for the Jake and Ben show. I knew immediately when I saw the Dan Hurley clip that you guys were going to be talking about this, and I could not wait for your takes, and you're as riled up as I thought you would be. One of the things that you guys didn't touch on is, it should have been a technical, and Dan Hurley is a psycho. I can only speak for myself. Somebody comes up to me and headbutts me like that and tries to pull that thing, I don't care what job I have, I'm throwing hands. Like, that's just, as apart from a head coach being psycho, if you're just acting like that, what that says about you as a person is just absolutely ridiculous. But have a great week, guys.
Like that?
Daniel, thank you. You can always use the call-in feature of the KSL's on the KSL Sports app like Daniel did right there.
I want to clarify
Hey, don't
something.
get in Daniel's
Like
face.
that?
If you put your head in my face, I will absolutely not swing on you. I will back down so quickly and cowardly like. Yeah, I will. You will take everything I own if you put your face in my face.
Oh, I'm kicking the groin kind of guy.
Okay, knee to the groin.
Knee to the yeah.
Sure.
Well, you fight dirty or
Yeah, yes.
bite his nose off or something. What do you need me to do, Sean? Sorry.
Like the penguin.
Want to remind you can win big on Wednesdays with Win Ticket Wednesday on the KSL Sports Zone, which is tomorrow. Tomorrow you can win tickets to go see Weezer with the Shins and Silver Sun pickup at the Maverick Center September 15th. Pre-sale begins at 10 a.m. Next Thursday with the code WEMAV26 at livenation.com. That's WEMAV26. Get your tickets today. Next Thursday. And listen to the KSL Sports Zone all day tomorrow for your chance to win.
Good news for you quickly. I know we're going to touch on something else here. The Hall of Fame, the Basketball Hall of Fame class of 2026 has been announced. Includes your guy, Glenn Doc Rivers. He's finally making it. I thought he was in already, to be honest with you. And this is kind of the weird one, and this is my real knock on the NBA. And it's the Basketball Hall of Fame. It's not the NBA Hall of Fame. Amari Stoudemire's going in. Is Amari Stoudemire like a Hall of Famer? When we think of baseball, we think of football.
No.
Like, Amari was the Hall of very, very good. Really good player.
Neither is Glenn. Before we leave, can we play the Dan Hurley sound before?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that was what we were setting up here.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt. It just came out.
Dan Hurley was on, what is this, a podcast, Sean? Some sort of podcast? The Triple Option Podcast. And he was asked about what Daniel was ranting about. What we were ranting about yesterday, Psycho Dan Hurley and the headbutt. Here you go.
Really, at that point in the game, we had it won. And he's such an easy guy to work with during the game that I thought he was coming over to chest bump me to celebrate the shot. Because it's not like that for me with him. Like my experience with him has been, we haven't won every game. I haven't agreed with every call, but so that was in no way was that like me and a ref that I had been at their throat the whole game. Like other points of the game where I had my arm around them, walking like out of the timeout. We were cracking jokes and laughing. With that situation, now the one at Marquette, when I was on my man's neck, screaming into his neck, that was a guy that's like coming right up to the line and losing his mind. But that was more like the emotion of the shot. And this is a cool ass ref guy. I just like was.
Were you guys sharing the moment together?
No, he was just coming up to tell me, it was 0.3.
Oh,
I think there's going to be 0.3 or 0.4 on the clock is what he was saying to me. And I was still so hyped from the shot going in that I was like, like.
Liar. Or fire the ref.
One of those defenses where it's like, I don't think that makes it better, dude. You mean you're pals with the ref? So that's why he was coming up to celebrate with you. So that makes it better. So he didn't call the technical foul because he's your buddy?
Yeah, because you thought he was coming. You thought it would be there was a chance that he would come up and celebrate with you.
And chest bump with you? That doesn't make it better, Dan.
It doesn't. It's worse for the NCAA. I'm pretty upset if I'm Duke.
And honestly, if you mean bug the guy while you headbutt him, is a technical foul. I don't care if you go to dinner afterwards or you were his best man.
Right. You and I, we do the show well together. We enjoy each other. If I get in your face, that's not okay.
Like, that doesn't excuse anything. First of all, he did it, so that, by definition, he should have gotten a technical foul.
Yeah.
You cannot touch the ref. Second of all, it wasn't like you were smiling in his face.
Correct.
You were absolutely taking an intimidating stance.
Him, yep.
But then the defense being that you guys are best buds is not a defense.
We were joking.
That doesn't make it any better.
I had my arm around him coming out of a timeout.
You went to celebrate with your best friend, the referee?
I don't think so. I don't think you get to say that.
Now, the guy at Marquette, I hate that guy, but this dude rigs games for me all the time. That just leads me to believe he did have money on the game.
Yeah, they did race a 19-point second half deficit.
Dan, don't headbutt me, bro. I got $500 on this thing. That didn't make it better at all.
At all. And it sounded like he knew he messed up. And he's like, how am I going to cover for this?
I wish they would have called that technical foul.
It
would have
been great. It would have been an all-time great development.
He should be Chris Webber. He should be, you blew it with the all-time buffoon decision because you are a psycho. And not that Chris Webber is a psycho. He just made a mistake. But, I mean, goes down in history.
This would have been far more egregious than Chris Webber not knowing they didn't have a timeout.
Right.
And getting a technical foul for calling it when they didn't.
Basically losing the game. You know what everybody ignores about that, though, is that he absolutely traveled before he called that timeout. Yeah. But anyway, I do not find Dan Hurley's explanation satisfactory. Kind of one of those Steve Sarkisian things where he was defending his baby, and he was like, I took some medication that mixed with the alcohol, and it's like, by saying it's not the booze, it's the booze and the pills doesn't make it
correct.
That doesn't make it understandable or better in any way. Or to say like, I didn't headbutt him. He's my best bud.
Or Sark's explanation about lighting up that TV kid who was like holding
the security guy,
the security guard holding text, and it's like, none of your explanations matter. Dan Hurley, the explanation actually doesn't matter.
No,
the action matters.
You headbutted.
You got into a ref's face and headbutted him, whether you thought he was celebrating with you, or whatever happened, which I don't believe what he's saying.
How many refs celebrate with a coach?
0. Ever. It's never happened.
I hope not.
It better not happen.
It better not happen.
Especially not in the Elite Eight.
I thought he was going to chest bump me. You did?
So, no, it doesn't make any sense. It makes the ref actually look worse. It doesn't make me feel better about Dan Hurley. So, Dan, don't talk anymore. I'm sure that's what the NCAA is saying. I'm sure that ref is saying, Dan, what are you doing? You're making me look like I was in on it. Maybe I am in on it, but you can't out me that I'm in on it with you. But yeah, I don't believe him.
Because now it looks like the ref didn't make a call for his buddy.
Correct. And I just think he's lying.
Well, he didn't really look at the ref like he was his buddy.
Correct. No. He didn't say, can you believe this? He didn't say, wow, how about that shot? He didn't hold his hands up. He looked down on you.
Got in his face.
The way you look at a child.
I can't believe that.
Made a huge mistake.
What a moron. Man, he just gets away with it, too. And then he can go and have a couple of giggles on a podcast and everybody moves on.
Yep.
It's a good gig if you can get it, I guess. Damn Hurley. I hope UConn loses. Who do they play? They play Illinois.
They get the easier draw.
Go Illini.
Not that I think Illinois is an easy draw. I think Illinois is probably as good or maybe a better team than UConn. But certainly they're happy to be on that side of the bracket versus having to play Arizona and Michigan, which are dynamite teams.
Can you imagine how unbearable it would be to be that guy's like personal assistant?
No, I can't.
Or somebody he perceives as like beneath him.
Coaching assistant job is a very difficult one. You're at the beck and call constantly of people who live a very difficult lifestyle. And so you're always on and you always have to be accountable and available. And then if the coach on top of it is a psycho, that must be really difficult. Last night we talked to Will Hardy and Kenny Atkinson, and they both seem very well-adjusted people. And even then, I'm sure their lifestyle is insane and it's probably difficult to be the Jazz coaching assistant, whoever the Cavs coaching assistant is, and, having to answer to them whenever they need something. But if the guy you worked for, the person you worked for was, Dan Hurley or Kim Mulkey, how difficult must that be?
Oh, awful.
Yeah.
Kim Mulkey. Although I'd like to be her tailor.
Just do whatever.
I'd like to be her. You can be really creative.
Just dress her up in whatever you got.
Really creative. Yeah. Can you, I can't remember if we talked about this on the air or off the air. LSU's 3 major coaches now are Will Wade, Lane Kiffin, and Kim Mulkey.
It's the 3 Stooges.
Can you imagine being the athletic director trying to manage those 3?
I bet being a fan is very funny. I bet it's very enjoyable
hilarious
right now.
I bet they're
the 3 biggest lunatics.
Dude, sports radio in Baton Rouge / New Orleans is loving it.
It's a good time.
It's a good time.
Yeah. Crazy coaches is easy radio.
Did you see that Will Wade basically gave the same introductory press conference, almost word for word, that he did at North Carolina State?
Just chat, GPT, copy and paste.
Same thing?
Yeah. Just switch out the names. Kobe Bryant. Or no, it was Kevin Durant and Steph Curry. Same introduction.
Way to go, Nico.
So,
what's Nico doing now?
Did you see Mark Cuban was making fun of him over the weekend?
I did. Well, the most notable thing about that, I thought, was that he said he regretted selling the team, not selling it, but selling it to the Adelsons, which he's still a member of the ownership group.
Yeah. The Nico Harrison aspect quickly was somebody photographed Nico flying coach. Like he was at an airport just kind of sitting with like the normal everybody waiting to get on board, and they were saying, you used to fly a private jet with the Mavericks, which was Mark Cuban's private jet. Mark notoriously has this big plane and lets everyone use it, and now he has to fly coach because he got fired for trading Luka. But yes, Mark Cuban said he doesn't regret selling the team. He regrets that he sold it to the family that he did. Which, he thought he was going to have a bigger role and continue to be at least a representative of the team at the Board of Governors. And they said, no. And so, he said he regrets that.
Well, the same things happened to Jeannie in L.A. eventually.
I'm curious how many people regret selling the team. I'm curious if the Millers, if you got them on some truth serum, if they would say they regret selling the team, the Jazz to Ryan Smith. Certainly, what's his name in Minnesota regrets selling the Timberwolves to Laurie and A-Rod. Now, that was because he sold them for a quarter of the price.
Yeah.
But, a lot of owners I do think regret selling after they lose the team.
No, I have no idea, but I don't know. Based on the large pivot that the Millers did as an entire company, I would guess they don't regret it.
They may not. I saw Gail at the game yesterday. I don't know Gail, but she is still absolutely taking part and goes to the games and seems to really celebrate the team still, which I really think she's done an amazing job.
I get it that they're trying to get back into, sports. They buy RSL and Major League Baseball and all that, but they wouldn't have the dough to do any of that if they didn't sell the Jazz.
Right. But I wonder if they want to get back into it because they no longer have the Jazz.
Yeah. Scotty G and friends coming up next. Jake and Ben. We'll talk to you tomorrow on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Hi, this is Alex Kantrowitz. I'm the host of Big Technology Podcast, a longtime reporter and an on-air contributor to CNBC. And if you're like me, you're trying to figure out how artificial intelligence is changing the business world and our lives. So each week on Big Technology, I bring on key actors from companies building AI tech and outsiders trying to influence it, asking where this is all going. They come from places like NVIDIA, Microsoft, Amazon, and plenty more. So if you want to be smart with your wallet, your career choices, in meetings with your colleagues, and at dinner parties, listen to Big Technology Podcast wherever you get your podcasts.
Mom, can you tell me a story?
Sure. Once upon a time, a mom needed a new car.
Was she brave?
She was tired, mostly. But she went to Carvana.com and found a great car at a great price. No secret treasure map required.
Did she have to fight a dragon?
Nope. She bought it 100% online. From her bed, actually.
Was it scary?
Honey, it was as unscary as car buying could be.
Did the car have a sunroof?
It did, actually.
Okay, good story.
Car buying you'll want to tell stories about. Buy your car today on
Carvana.
Delivery fees may apply.